comment about this question about capitalism. One is that capitalism is not sustainable.
Yes.
That's the issue. It's just not sustainable. When all the resources are all gone for profit or for whatever, we have nothing. And I guess to comment on what you were saying earlier, people are going to die. The end result of capitalism is death for all of us.
Yeah.
I'm a capitalist. And number two, look at the concept of capitalism. Where am I getting this word capitalism is based on this concept called more than all. Think about it. If capitalists want more than what's even possible, that's the external law. And that's what capitalism. So the question is that capitalism is supposed to work together? No. There is no intersection between one ideology that says more than all, and extended law, because of the benefit of the few, as opposed to socialism, which is more about what can we do so everyone can join in and enjoy everything that this planet has to offer.
Thanks. Okay.
Yeah, I think was important part of that question was sort of the vision of what does society look like without capitalism. And when I talk to people about this, I avoid the word socialism altogether. It sets off a lot of red flags in people's heads. Essentially what I tell them is we need to democratize the economy because we're making, especially large corporations and financial institutions, are amassing capital and making decisions that affect tons of people, and yet there is no democratic check on their power. Like given entrepreneurs, so we're getting screwed right now. And a lot of people put a lot of pressure on Obama and our government to do something about Article 10, and the regulatory agencies. Well, nobody can really put pressure on BP in that way. There's not no democratic say in what they do and what their operations are. If the workers actually had some democratic control, people working on that rig, I can assure you they would have put safety first before capital, and that thing never would have gone up, or people never would have died. So essentially, put it in 3 words, my vision for the future is democratize the economy.
I think what I should have stressed in my first is that we need a stronger conceptualization of what social demand happens. Because I think a lot of conversations not progress is being clear terms are not really defined. A lot of conversations capitalism and socialism everyone has that conception. Right, and they got your partners and free market, profit-based system, people in the top making decisions. And I really agree with you that we have to democratize essentially economy is supposed to work and compromise. And it has to be more important than dictate fiscally rates. So socialism, and that's the goal to see that we have a huge strong conceptualization. And it has to be kind of something that we have a lot of dialogue about.
socialism back in the 19th century, which is private property. And that our system is really designed by a class of people in the United States, particularly in the 1770s and 80s, who were the rich, privileged class. This is so class in terms of bourgeoisie. And they really were an ownership-centered kind of class of people. And that class has expanded to basically through private property and corporate ownership control all forces of sustaining life by a very few number of people. Does that make sense? All cool with that? And so what we're here saying is to move toward some form of public ownership. How is it that we can all own land, crops, whatever, and also given that a blue amount of incentive, be incentivized in such a way that we go out and produce. We're coming from a highly sort of slave-driven society, whipped in the back, we have to stay alive. How do we keep that kind of production going? So where this is all leading is we sort of have you positioned at the front of the room, as the experts. I'd like to say the circle. I think that would be more of a model of the society I'm living at. And can you, as people who are dealing with this big before some of the rest of us, really put out some very specific, like Brother here is asking for. What do you imagine is going to happen? It isn't going to happen overnight. It's going to happen through lots of struggles and planning and give and take, and internationally more than here. But I think it would always be helpful for me if I knew somebody had various kinds of scenarios, how they saw this happen. That would be really useful for me. How do we create that economic democracy?
Well, to speak to that, as Mark says, one thing that we firmly believe is that, what we're dealing with is we're not trying to create a socialist monolith, and we're not trying to create we're not trying to do this in a way where we are bringing the working class to socialism. Ultimately, what we're doing is we're hoping to guide this, to guide the working class with our theoretical knowledge to make the revolution. But how socialism comes about is ultimately going to be up to the working class. It's not up to us. We have, opinions about theories, and one of our, theories of strategy. And one of the theories of strategy is that, we raise demands and we organize around demands that fundamentally cut at the power of the ruling class. And that's one theory of strategy that I think we hold to. But, ultimately, it's not a matter of we're in charge, we're going to tell, we're going to engineer socialism, we're going to do it this way. It really comes to a matter of empowering the working class. And you saw that in Cuba, because Fidel Castro wasn't even a socialist until after he had overthrown the Batista regime, or until he was significantly on his way to doing so. So that's just what I would express. It's not about what we envision for society, it's what the working class envisions for itself.